Sheryl Crow's relationship with Lance Armstrong turned into the biggest low point of her life. Sheryl Crow's life took a devastating turn at the time of their breakup with Lance Armstrong. Both of their lives have been thrust into the spotlight. Sheryl Crow's love life has always been a topic of interest, while Lance Armstrong's career took a hit following his doping controversy. It seems like negativity has followed the popular athlete since, and that held true for his performance on SNL. In the following, we're going to turn the calendar back to the early 2000s and take a closer look at Lance's 3-year relationship with Crow. We're going to reveal why things didn't work out between the two, and why Crow's life took a devastating turn at the time of their breakup. Thankfully, Crow is in a good place these days, and most of all, she's feeling healthy. Lance Armstrong told his story as to why the relationship with Sheryl Crow didn't work. Sheryl Crow and Lance Armstrong started to date in 2003, and it caused quite the media storm. The relationship lasted 3 years, and Armstrong went into detail as to why things didn't work during his conversation alongside Howard Stern. Given Lance's words, he was sharing a different story compared to his ex Sheryl Crow. "It was a good ride. She's a great lady. Obviously, it didn't work out, but I think and I hope she's happy. I'm happy," he told Stern. "I watched the Grammys the other day, and we were like presenters at the Grammys. At the time, I was like, I've got to go do what? It's tough to pull it off. I mean, how many couples have been able to pull it off?" He noted. To her credit, she was a stay-at-home one of the biggest rock stars, but she was a great partner. She was at the races. It wasn't like we never saw each other. Ultimately, Armstrong reveals that their different visions for the future was the biggest reason for their breakup. "She wanted marriage, she wanted children, and not that I didn't want that," he wrote. "But I didn't want that at that time because I had just gotten out of a marriage, I just had kids. We're up against her biological clock, that pressure is what cracked it." Although the separation didn't seem as bad as the way Armstrong played it out, things were much different from Crow's perspective at the time. Sheryl Crow was going through a breakup with Lance Armstrong, while she was also diagnosed with cancer. For Sheryl Crow, her breakup was truly a rock-bottom moment for several reasons. Not only was her relationship in the media, but she was also forced to deal with a cancer diagnosis at the time. Instead of giving the artist her space, she was peppered by the media at the time, who were doing their best to catch her at an ultimate low. "When I was diagnosed and my relationship fell apart, people were camped outside trying to get that picture of Sheryl Crow at her lowest moment. I just lost all faith in humankind." Speaking alongside ABC News, Crow revealed to shedding lots of tears at the time, but also knew the moment could be used as a wake-up call in her life. "There were just aspects of my life I had to look at and say, what is this? What is this telling me?" she said. "It's about showing up for yourself. It's about facing that giant machine every morning, being stripped down to just one little person addressing their life. And that was my wake-up call. I had to be here. I had to show up for myself." Thankfully these days, Crow is cancer-free and a great example of why it is important to test regularly before such a diagnosis gets worse. Sheryl Crow completely denied a rumor that Lance Armstrong had left her because of the diagnosis. Crow has spoken a little more about her relationship to Armstrong, claiming she was lied to following the scandals surrounding the doping that took place at the height of his career. However, Crow did address a certain rumor, claiming there was no truth to Armstrong breaking up with her due to the diagnosis. "No, it was really difficult, just really difficult for both of us," she said. "But it's in those moments when you realize, okay, this is my life. Your first instinct is to say, okay, I have to have my family here. I've got to rely on my doctors, and I have to surround myself with people who can really carry me through this and who can really be there emotionally for me, like really just consistently be there emotionally." Crow would go on to reveal during her 2006 interview that the breakup caused her to make major adjustments. "It is like a death, And in many ways, it's like having part of your life amputated, but you still have that phantom itch, where you wake up and I'll see something and think, oh, I've got to make sure Lance is hip to this band. I've got to put it on his iPod. And then I remember, oh, wait, that's not my life." That's it for today's video. Make sure to subscribe to our channel for more videos like this.